Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the session on introducing PTE Core. I'm looking at the numbers of participants and it's growing rapidly, so I'm gonna wait a minute or two for the whole group to log in. So feel free to grab something to drink, get ready, set the audio on the appropriate level, and we'll start in a minute. For those of you who are already there, so please remember that there is a Q&A box. So once we'll be going through the presentation, I will be sharing with you all the elements that you need to know about PTE Core, especially from the teacher's perspective. So a person who is experienced and probably might end up in running preparation courses for PTE Core. And if you have any questions, then drop those questions in the Q&A. So we'll try to answer them as we go by. And of course, we'll have some time at the end for a quick summary. Okay. Okay. So my name is Bartlomiej Janiak, and I'm a teacher trainer and the assessment advisor. So I'm responsible for the various training programs when it comes to the assessment, including PTE portfolio. So today it's my pleasure uh, to tell you the information about our newest exam, the PTE Core. So you'll have all the most important information, so that you'll have the knowledge to talk about PTE Core, to talk about with PTE Core with your students when they will be asking questions. And looking at the very first slide, please remember that PTE Core, this is the test of everyday English, and it's approved by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada for all work and migration visas to Canada. So actually, at the very beginning, in this intro slide, you already have two most important information, that this is the everyday English and it's approved for all work and migration visas to Canada. So probably it gives you the channel of the candidates on the students and the type of information that you might be transferring to them. Please remember that the sessions, there will be three more sessions, as the whole series is aimed at PTE Core for teachers. So this is today the general introduction. On Thursday, we'll talk about PTE Core speaking and writing. Then we're going to have reading and listening. So these are the sessions that will hopefully equip you with the knowledge on how to teach towards PTE Core. So we'll make a bit deeper dive when it comes to the question types, okay, the structure behind the question types, and the things you can do during the lessons, so that you will offer not only the development of the command of English, but also the exposure to the question types that the students will face when taking PTE Core. As an introduction, probably some of you, or maybe most of you, are already familiar with our PTE portfolio and the PTE Academic, PTE Home. And the portfolio basically got bigger. So within the PTE Core, there is the same test experience. So when you look at the element of being convenient, it's a single 2-hour test. So there are no exam sessions throughout the year that you need to pre-book your test in advance and then you wait for an exam window, and when you miss it, then you need to wait several months for a next exam window. So it's a single 2-hour test, and the testing is all year round. And the online booking procedure, it's really simple, and you can book the test, or the candidates, they can book the test up to 24 hours in advance. And of course, a big advantage, this fast result delivery. So within around 48 hours, the candidates are expected to get their test back, the results back, and they don't have to wait several weeks and just waiting to get the information about the score. So accuracy and being objective. So this is the computer-based, okay? So when it comes to computer-based, there is computer-based marking, and the scores are on a granular scale from 10 to 19, just to present the test taker's performance. And when it comes to being relevant, and this is the thing which I turned into the red font. So the topics in PTE Core relate to everyday life situations. So looking at from the teacher's perspectives and looking from the teachers from the perspective of a teaching reality, so it means that you need material that would offer you need material that would offer the representation of everyday life situation, unlike the situation when you prepare for PT academic, when there is academic reality, and we all know that this is the let's say specific kind of reality. Of course, in all PT experience, we do have integrated tasks, so like real life communication. You are not only listening, but you have to listen and speak, okay? You'll have to look at something and need to describe something. And the final element, which is the element of the whole portfolio, that will really go to great lengths to make sure that the procedure and the very experience of taking the test is as secure as possible, just to minimize and remove any potential risk of fraudulent behavior. So this is the whole PT experience, and PT Core fits within this experience as well, because this is the part of the PTE family. A quick reminder, because since you probably dealt with candidates for PTE academic in previous years and previous months, so the very same booking procedure. So you can book either online or by phone. There are preparation materials which I'm gonna talk to you about. So you can access the preparation materials. You can direct the students to access the preparation materials so they can do it on their own. Then once they book the test, they have the day, they take the test, they wait around 2 hours to get the results, 2 days to get the results back. 2 hours, that would be super cool on the other note. So within the 2 days, and they provide the results to the institution. So this is the whole process of booking the test, very smooth and very flexible when they can have their PT Core test experience. And this is the portfolio. This is the family, the portfolio, the PTE portfolio. So a quick revision, okay, just to refresh the knowledge. So there is a PT academic section, which includes PT Academic UK VI, and PT Academic Online. There is this PT Core, and there is 2 skills, PT Home on A1, A2, and B1 level, and a very quick representation of why do you need a particular test. Depends on where you want to go or what you want to do. So PT Academic, accepted by Australian, New Zealand government for all visas. It's also accepted by Canadian government for study permits. So a point to remember, if you're planning to study in Canada, this is the PT Academic for you, okay? And it's accepted by universities and professional bodies all around the world. There is a PT Academic UK VI, so it's accepted for UK work visas and study visas below degree level. PT Academic Online, so for institutions. So not accepted for visa or migration purposes. And when a person would like to take PT Academic Online, there's always the recommendation in all those elements that they need to go to the institution's website and check whether they accept the PT Academic Online version. There is PTE Core, okay, so the PTE Core the PTE Core is accepted by Canadian government for all work and migration visas. So now you know the purpose, okay? If you get a candidate saying I'm moving to Canada, okay, I work there, I will settle there, so PTE Core is the choice. And finally, PTE Home, accepted for UK family and settlement visas. Okay, so this is the portfolio, and now the overview of the PTE Core. So the things you need to things you need to remember. Okay, it can be taken around the world at our testing centers. Okay, so the number of testing centers is growing from year to year, and please remember during the booking procedure, so the candidate will be asked about their goal, okay, about the destination, and the system will provide them with the appropriate guidance towards the particular exam that they need to take. And what is more, during this booking procedure, they'll have a chance to see the closest testing centers within their range to make this experience as smooth as possible, so that they won't have to travel long distances to take the test. And the Canada experience. Okay, so once we have the candidates moving to Canada, so please remember that the PT Academic, this is for study permits, okay, via the non-SDS and SDS strings. 96 universities already accepting PT Academic. A different scenario is like a person willing to work there and willing to move there, okay, to settle there. So this is where they need to take PTE Core, and the test bookings are available from the 12th February, and we are already experiencing big interest in this exam. So actually we are looking forward to spread the information and to share the information as we are sharing right now with the wide audience around the world. So probably once you'll have your candidates and your students, there will come the time that they will ask questions. Okay, they will ask questions about the differences or the similarities between PT Academic and PT Core. The first and the most important element to remember is PT Core is test general English. Okay, PT Academic test academic English. So this is the most important element. So probably if you teach students and if you have the experience with teaching, from the very elementary level, looking at the advanced level. So you will see the trajectory. Then in most situations, people start general English courses. And once they decide to study at a foreign university and they will be studying in English, they say, that, okay, I want to study there, so I'll need PT Academic. So then they move into the academic English reality, with the different structures, with the different question types, with a slightly, let's say, different language. So the general English means that wherever you are around the world, the situations that the candidates meet in a test will be the situation that they can find in their everyday life and workplace scenarios. So this is the point to remember. And since this general English and everyday life and workplace scenario, as a teacher, there is a good point for you. It means that you don't have to have a specific academic course book with this specialty. You can use the general English course book, because actually as you open any book, you will see that the problems presented, the readings, the content, the themes of the listings, etc., they refer to everyday life reality. So this is the thing that you can use to your advantage, that you can already have the general English course book. And during the remaining sessions about the speaking, writing, listening, we'll show you how can you implement, how can you enrich your lessons, so that you will offer not only the general English language, but also exposure to PT Core question types. Okay. 4 skills are assessed on both tests, so there is a similarity, one-to-one matching. The test content, I will just focus on PT Core, because probably you know the academic content and you see it. So the test content in the first place is authentic. It means that the materials that were used and that will be presented in a test come from various original videos, podcasts, internet announcements, various readings, the work meetings, etc., so that it is as realistic as possible. Okay, there will be some study situation, but non-academic. Okay, so they will not have to have this specific academic knowledge. So the content will be familiar to everyone, and this is the point which is matching the very first point, that this is the general English. Okay, there are 19 question types in PTE Core, and there are 20 question types in PTE Academic. So actually, one question was removed. It's like highlight, correct summary, and two questions were, I would say, they were changed so that they would match the everyday life reality, and you will see them in a second. Once they sit the test, the range of the question types that they will get is between 52 and 64. So this is exactly the same. And the test timing is around 2 hours. So within the single 2-hour window, they will have a chance to complete whole tests looking at PTE Core and PTE Academic. The scoring, the automatic scoring, this is the engine, because this is a computer-based testing. And the scoring is on the scale from 10 to 90. And there is an overall score and a communicative skills score, and the scores are valid for 2 years. So in case you get a candidate saying, okay, I will need the PTE Core, and what's the test validity? What is the result validity? So right now you will know that it's 2 years. Okay, test delivery, delivered in hundreds of PTE test centers around the world. Please remember that the PTE Core will not be available as a remote proctor test. Okay, so there is no PTE Core online version, unlike PTE Academic, where you can take it in a remote proctor version, or you can go to the testing center. PTE Core, it's possible to take PTE Core at the PTE test center. Okay, bookings, as the very first one of the few slides at the very beginning that were presented to you, they are available either online or over the phone 24 hours in advance before taking the test. So this is the element. The tests are set locally. They are the same as PTE Academic and PTE Academic UKVI. And the recognition accepted, and now you know, because there are two major differences. The first difference to remember, that is general English, and the second is accepted by the Canadian government for work and migration visas. Okay, there are of course further opportunities, but they remain to be explored. So once you'll get a candidate saying, okay, I'm planning to work there and I'm planning to move there, so there is a very clear indication for you as a preparation provider saying, okay, so you will work with me towards PTE Core, because this is the test that will get you to your destiny. Okay, preparation. We've prepared a range of materials which are at your disposal and which are at the test taker's disposal. So PTE Core Test Taker Handbook. Okay, so everything you need to know, and everything a candidate needs to know. But from my perspective, as I'm dealing with various teachers running the preparation courses, it's a matter of good practice to be familiar with the materials that are offered, that are, let's say, aimed at test takers. That the familiarity and the knowledge on the side of the teacher will be beneficial in the preparation course, because there's one option: you say, here is the handbook, go and find the information there, or you can just rise above this quality and offer a slightly different approach, saying, here is the test taken handbook. The most important element that you'll find there is X, Y, and Z. So you'll find the information about the preparation. How can you prepare? What are the preparation materials? What are the booking procedures? You'll find there the elements when it comes to cancellation, when it comes to the special requirements. You'll find the information about scoring, about the things you can bring or the things you cannot bring to the testing center, because maybe the candidates will have their first experience in their life with PTE testing. Okay, so they'll need to know whether they can bring the mobile phone, the jewelry, the smartwatch, or maybe it's it's prohibited and it won't happening again. They will need to learn the requirements when it comes to the ID and the documents. So everything you'll find in the test taker handbook. Then there is a chance for you and for the candidates to to download the offline practice test. So the PDF documents, 4 documents, the overview and the documents and the remaining sections divided by the sections that they will have in the test. Of course, there will be the videos and the audios just representing the question type. So this is, I would say, the very step at offering exposure to a potential PTE Core candidate. Okay, so once they set their mind like, okay, I'll need PTE Core. Then, of course, you talk with them about the level, you talk with them about the language development, you'll talk with them about the preparation procedure. And this is the chance for you to say, hey, let's have a look at the PTE Core offline practice test, just to give you a flavor of the question types that you'll have, the things you'll have to do, so that you'll know that once I told you it's everyday life situation. So once you look at the question type, you will see for yourself that actually it's not academic, it's everyday life situations that you are familiar with it. So this is at your disposal as well. And test tips. So test tips aimed at test takers, but please remember that this is, like I would say, I'm saying, and I'm going to be repeating several times, that a matter of good practices as a teacher, as a preparation provider, is to familiarize yourself with the test tip strategies. So it's not only it will allow you to work effectively, but also to help them in the preparation. The things you can do, it would be good to do when it comes to the speaking, the things that might detriment the results, that might cause lower result. And there are, of course, study tips, as you see on the screen. So the study tips are very short activities that test takers, future test takers, can implement in their life as they are going through the self-study, but they can be easily supplemented within the preparation program. So actually, those study tips serve 2 roles. One is an option for a self-study, and the second option, they could be nicely implemented within the language course as a homework, for example. Okay, so once you've got the read aloud, and you'll ask your candidates, your students, okay, once you'll go outside and you'll see some information there, so try to read aloud them, okay? And you can record the messages so that you can play those elements later on, and we can work on them during the lesson. Okay, so the test tip documents all the question types within a single document, with the guidance on what to do, how to increase this preparation period, just to get the most out of it. And of course, for those people who like watching and listening, so we've prepared the question type videos. So the question type videos at your disposal as well. You can watch them with your candidates. You can assign homework that, hey, before we move on, for the next lesson, I want you to familiarize yourself with the listening question types. So watch the videos, look at the structures, look at the things that you're expected to do. And when we meet on the next lesson, I'd like you to come with to come to this lesson with the questions you'll have about these question types, about the challenges, about the things you think you'll need to work on just to get the desired score. So it's not only the self-study material, but I'm just slightly showing you the way how can you implement them in the language learning lesson. And the final element, test taker score guide. But this is the test taker that should be this is the really good option. Is even not recommendation, but it's a really good option, not to say a must, for a teacher just to familiarize himself or herself with the score guide, okay, with the scoring criteria, when it comes to the described image, okay? So it's the scoring criteria on the content, pronunciation, fluency. We're gonna talk about it later on during a different session, but the scoring criteria for an email, okay? What are the elements that are taken into account when it comes to scoring particular question types? And of course, you'll find their sample for scoring for spoken and written test taker responses. So general overview and a scoring Bible, I would say, when it comes to computer-based marking. Okay, so these are the documents that in the preparation course, it would be good if they were like an active part, not a passive one. Like, hey, this is the document, study it for yourself. In case you have questions, come back to me. An active part, it means that as a teacher, you'll just work with them in a lesson, okay? Taking some parts and include them and actually use them just to offer the best possible preparation experience, okay? Once you finish the preparation period, then there is a very quick reminder about the test day. Of course, there is a video when you go to our our website. You'll see the video on what to expect on the test day, and this is the type, the regulation, and the pieces of information that the candidates must be fully familiar with, and they need to follow the rules, because one element is like effective language preparation, and the second element is like effective preparation. That means knowing the requirements, knowing the rules, because there is no worse scenario that you prepare effectively, you study really hard, you work with your teacher, and then you attend, then you go to the testing center and you bring the different ID with a different name, and it's not matching the names that the candidates used when they were booking the test online, and they won't be able to go through the test. So they need to show their ID. Okay, there is a range of security measures. So the digital photograph, the signature, and the palm scan that will be taken. They will receive a copy of test center rules. They will be presented to the computer room to take the test. They need to raise their hand before they have finished, so that the team could make sure that everything is according to the requirements. And of course, they will receive an email confirmation that they completed the test on the way out. Of course, if they experience some technical problems, they can ask for help from the test administrator. But of course, they cannot talk about the language elements of the test. So this is like a very gentle reminder that the preparation, the language preparation is one thing, but just helping the candidates to familiarize themselves about the rules and regulation on a test day. Actually, you can design a really nice and interesting lesson about the things you can do and the things you can't do. You can create different scenario. I once heard the story that the person prepared a scenario of a person going to the testing center, and it was like a mini reading activity, and the instruction was to find the inappropriate behavior, the thing that he did that was not in line with the requirements, so that and unfortunately he wasn't able to take the test. So a nice language activity, and at the same time beautiful implementation of teaching about the test requirements. The testing rules, please remember, since it's computer-based test, so there's only one attempt for each question. It means that, as in life, you cannot go backwards, okay? You can only move forwards. So once you complete an item, a question type, and you'll go forward, so you'll not have a chance to go back. Of course, they will see a timer just to monitor the time throughout the test. And they also get an erasable notebook and a pen for taking notes. And I think we'll talk about it during the listening, during the PTE Core listening and PTE Core writing and speaking elements. One of the key elements in successful preparation is to teach students how to take notes effectively. And basically, it's a life skill. So that they are planning to move to Canada, they will be working there, they will settle there. So the note-taking will not only help them to go through the test, but it's a life skill that they will benefit many years after, once they completed it, they will say like, hey, there was a teacher who actually went to great lengths to teach me about the effective note-taking skills. So this is a point worth remembering from the teacher's perspective. Okay, the PTE test format. So the element that it's from the teacher's perspective is it's interesting to know. So there are 3 parts, and this is these are the question types that the candidates will face. Okay, if you are familiar with PT Academic, so you'll have no problem just understanding the read aloud, the repeat sentence, the describe image, the multiple choice, multiple answer. But please remember that within the next 3 webinars, we'll be going through separate categories, and we'll go through every question type, and we'll show you how can you supplement the general English course to teach for PTE Core. As I told you at the very beginning, there are 19 question types, so there is no highlight correct summary. And in PTE Academic, there is a question type write essay, and since it's academic, so and PTE Core is general English, so instead of writing an essay, there is a question types, as you see, the last one from speaking, writing, write email. So the things we do around the world daily. So this is the activity that people need to master and to learn how to write emails effectively, not only for the test, but in life. Okay, and there is another question type in PT Academic. We've got retail lecture. Okay, so you attend the lecture, the university, the lecture finishes, and then you need to retell the lecture in short to your friend that missed the event because of the reasons. So it's academic, and in PTE general, in PTE Core, we've got response to a situation. So this is the question type when the candidates will have to respond to a typical everyday life situations that they have. So they will listen and read about a particular problem, and then they will have to respond as if they were in the situation, and they'll have to come up with a solution. Okay, so to give you a sample so that you will see that actually these are the everyday life and workplace situations. So if you repeat the sentence, this is the general English. If you have the read aloud section, you've got the email, and you've got an example of describe image. So in the describe image, they can have some line graphs, they can have pie charts, they can have picture representing a daily routine, and they'll need to describe this daily routine. They might have a map, as you see in the image, and they need to provide in the detail how to get from point A to point B. I'm sure these are the things that you know that they happen in life. From time to time, someone asks you, even if you are using Google Maps or something else, can you tell me how do you get from this train station to the nearest grocery or whatever the situation is? And the other person, they need to describe the situation in detail. They could have an image of a process, for example, a recipe, how to cook something, and they'll need to describe this situation. So once again, everyday life situation. When it comes to the response situation, imagine the situation that this is the sample that you would like to buy a car, and you're looking for the through the internet, and you see a nice advert representing the car you want. You've got the description, and you want to call the owner, okay, and the owner is not available, but you have a chance to leave a voice message. So you'll need to leave a voice message presenting your interest and asking questions about the things that are really important to you when it comes to buying this car. Okay, so this is the sample scenario of something that they can meet in this respond to a situation question type. Okay, so everyday English workplace scenarios as well. Point to remember. The scoring criteria within the whole PTE academic portfolio, this is the fully computer-based scoring, okay? So using our scoring technology, please remember that once the engine is trained, has been trained, a variety of accents are used in the training process. So it means that the test takers can respond with any accent and use common spelling conventions. So when you want to learn more about it, we're going to talk about it during the webinar on speaking and writing, but there is a test taker handbook and there are question type tips. So you'll see there that what are the things which really matter when it comes to doing the speaking question types. Point to remember, automating scoring. There is a score guide if you want to familiarize yourself with the scoring criteria. Of course, the candidates will get, similar to different PTE exam, they will get a score report where they have their overall score. They will have the communicative skills on the granular scale from 10 to 90. And this scale is aligned to Canadian language benchmark. This is the point to remember, because probably you know it, that the PTE Core is used for work and migration visas to Canada. So the score is aligned to Canadian language benchmark. Validity is 2 years, and the scores are typically available in 2 days' time. And of course, once they have their own online account, they will have access to the skills profile, where they will have a detailed description of their performance, and they will also find recommendation there if they want to work with you, or if they want to develop their language further, or in a situation when they are planning to retake the test. Okay, so the Canadian language benchmark scoring. So this is the thing that you need to know, and this is the thing that the candidate needs to know. And you need to remember that this table may be updated. So the best option is always to check the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada website for the most up-to-date information. So once you'll see that the requirement is CLB 7, so you've got the scores in particular sections when it comes to the PTE Core. So this is the range that they would need to score to achieve CLB 7 if it's required for the work and migration purposes. Okay, so the alignment with the Canadian language benchmark is important when it comes to taking PTE Core. And of course, so these are the materials at the very beginning, the preparation materials, but we also prepared information materials that you can also use within your training program. So the brochure aimed an overview for PTE Core about PTE, about bookings, about preparations, about scoring. So a very concise pack of information when it comes to PTE Core, and be ready, be Canada ready with one less worry. So moving to Canada, and we'll make sure that it's gonna be very smooth when it comes to booking and taking the test. The general information for the test taker is a very short flyer, 2-page flyer, an overview structure, the correlation, the links, how to prepare, and the booking link. So this is the element that you can point your candidates towards the particular link, or you can just offer them this type of flyer as a form of information support. There is a comparison between PTE Core and PTE Academic. If you have students that won't be sure, okay, I'm not really sure what is the difference, I'm not really sure whether the one or the other one is the best fit for me, so feel free to use this flyer just to offer the visual comparison between these two tests. And you'll also have a chance to get a flyer comparisons between PTE Core and different CELPIP or IELTS exams. So the comparisons when it comes to the registrations, when it comes to the test availability, the locations, the duration, the results scoring, So this is also the material that we prepared to make this preparation part as effective as possible. When it comes to the next steps, this is like a reminder that the booking PTE Core is really easy. So these are the steps that the candidates, they need to create PTE account, and they got the login details, and they just need to enter their own account. They need to log in and they book the test. Point to remember, and this is the crucial element. If I were the preparation teacher, I would underscore it that, okay, I work with you with the language, but please remember that the test taker profile details, the one which are on the account, they must match those on the official ID. So they need to be exactly the same. If there is any difference because they bring a different ID or they make mistake when they put in the details, this is the risky situation and they will not be able to take the test. So they'll need to have exactly the same details, so exactly the same ID and the details you used in the registration process, and they need to present the same ID when they enter the test center. Points to remember, okay? And the different questions that we've heard, and before we move on to the different questions, and I can see that they are answered regularly as we are here right now. Are the same booking conditions applied to PTE Core, fees, accommodation, or rescheduling? Yes, the bookings are exactly the same. So there is a PTE Core test taker handbook which highlights all the most important information. Okay, is there a chance to get PTE Core vouchers? Yes, it's possible. As a prep provider or a PTE partner, you can purchase from Pearson VUE voucher store. And now you've got this. This is is it the right test for me? So please remember, when they will begin their PTE booking journey, so that the test taker will select their purpose. Okay, I need to go to this country. I need to go to Canada. I need to go because I will work there. I will move there. And looking at their choice, the system will help them to select the right test for them, so that they will not take, for example, PTE Academic, whether they need PTE Core or different way round. So in the system, they will have a really clear guidance what is the best test for them. But the knowledge on the teacher's side and on the preparation provider side is also essential, because this is like a double checking. Okay, so you will equip them with the knowledge. Okay, this is the right test for you, looking at your preference, you looking at your goal, and the system will also make sure just to confirm that this is the right test for them. Will there be a chance to book a test via PTE partner portal? Yes, if you are a PTE partner, you can book PTE Core exams via the partner portal. Okay, the smooth test day for my candidates. I gave you one inspiration. You can design a language lesson about what to expect on a test day. And this is another bit of information that I shared with you a few minutes ago. The ID, just being like, this is 100%, that those elements, when they register, when they book, they need to match their passport. Okay, as you see, we recommend always using a passport as the form of ID. Okay, being authentic, now you know it. Looking at PTE Academic and looking at PTE Core is using authentic materials, so they will be dealing with the authentic materials that can be found around the world. So the different sources like magazines, newspapers, podcasts, radio programs, television programs. So yes, those elements are authentic. And this is a really important question. Being a teacher and offering preparation courses, can test takers prepare for PTE Core with PTE Academic? Because they have similar question types. Yes and no. And I would suggest that the best approach would be to treat them separately. There is one PTE portfolio, but PTE Core is a different exam and PTE Academic is a different exam. Once we prepare for PTE Core, this is everyday life and workplace scenarios. So the recommendation is to use the materials that they will equip them with the knowledge about the question types, because the question types might be similar, but the content will be different. This is the first element. The second element, once you have the candidate for PTE Core, and this is the general English, because you are using the general English course book, and they will start studying from PTE academic materials, it might be challenging, a bit challenging for them, a bit difficult, because there is this academic nature of academic English. Okay, so there are different elements, different structures, different collocations, different elements when it comes to writing an essay, unlike writing an email. So the best options would be to treat those elements separately. If you go for PTE Academic, we'll work with you with academic English materials. If you go for PTE Core, I will work with you with the general English, and I will teach you how to use the materials and offer exposure to the PTE Core question types. Okay. And how long before the test time should the test taker arrive? This is another question, but it could be easily implemented within the language lesson. Actually, you can design several questions about taking PTE Core, about test experience, and offer one question per lesson, just out of just to increase interest and just to present it on the PowerPoint. And the question is without answers, and the candidates, they can get points. And by the end of the week or a month, you could see who is the winner, or you can design a quick poll, etc. So they should arrive at least 30 minutes prior to their test bookings to ensure the smooth checking. So these are the elements worth remembering. Okay, if you want to learn more, just feel free and visit our pearsonpte.com, and you'll have all the information there, and you'll have access to the materials as well. So actually, this brings me to the end of the presentation, and to the end of an introduction to PTE Core. And Julian, because you were asking the questions as we were going through, are there any specific categories that teachers asked? What was interesting in this Q&A box? If you could share a few insights.
Thank you very much, Bartek. So yeah, great that we've had so many really interesting questions. If we haven't answered your questions yet, we'll try to get there before the end of the webinar. There's still a few left to answer. In terms of themes coming up in terms of questions, Bartek, there are quite a few questions about preparation resources. So I would strongly recommend going to PTE Core, to the preparation resource page, and having a look through. There are questions about the different question types. We have videos on every single PTE Core question, so it's worth looking through those. And quite a few questions about the differences in scoring between PTE Academic and PTE Core. So again, there is a scoring tab on the website that talks through the different scoring requirements and the traits that are being marked for different questions. And there are some differences that we'll go into, I think, over the next 3 webinars when we focus more specifically on the skills. Finally, I thought it would be worth mentioning there's a few questions around the use of PTE Core for non-Canada purposes. So PTE Core is the test for Canada. I would suggest, but I don't know if on the website, when you go on the website to the first page, there is a really helpful button called Book a Test at the top. And if you want to, a teacher or a test taker, if you click on Book a Test, there's a very helpful system to help you understand where you want to go and for what purposes, and then it suggests the correct Pearson test for you. So I think that's around the 4 things, but yeah, some great questions today. So yeah, looking forward to answering the ones that are still in the Q&A box.
Thanks a lot, Julian. And yes, do visit the page, as Julian suggested. check this booking system so that you will see and you'll have the knowledge. You'll see for yourself that if you choose the particular country and a particular purpose, you'll see the recommendation, and this will equip you with the knowledge when you will be talking with the candidates. So thanks a lot for being with us. Thanks a lot for asking questions. Please remember that this week we're meeting for PTE Core speaking and writing. So we'll take these two sections, we'll dive into this particular question types, and we'll leave you with some tips. How can you use general English courseware? How can you use our language course books? And just offer them and present them in a way that they will not only provide language development, but you'll also have a chance to say, hey, you are just doing the question type that you'll be faced when taking PTE Core. So actually this is the language course, but the same preparation course towards the test. The next week we'll talk about the reading, and the next week the final session we'll talk about the listening. So that will be all from me. Thank you so much for being with us. I hope that those information presented gave you like a clear indication of what PTE Core is, what is the purpose. As a teacher, you already know, okay, so I can use this type of materials, visit the page to access the range of resources, and we look forward to seeing you in the forthcoming webinar. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of your day, and that's all. Thank you.